The Christmas Miracle. In a quiet corner of a bustling city, an old lady named Clara sat alone in her tiny, drafty attic room. Her frail hands, blue from the cold, clutched an old shawl tightly around her shoulders. The room was bare except for a rickety chair and a small bed with a worn blanket. Outside, the sound of carolers singing joyful Christmas songs drifted through the icy air. Clara's stomach ached with hunger. She hadn't eaten a proper meal in days. Her cupboards were empty, and the few coins she had were not enough to buy even a loaf of bread. She had no family left, only memories of happier Christmases long ago. She whispered softly to herself, "If only I could have one warm meal, just one." As night fell and the world around her celebrated, Clara lit a tiny candle to bring a little warmth to her dark room. She closed her eyes and prayed, "Dear Lord, if there's any hope for me, please send it my way tonight." Just as her prayer ended, there was a knock at the door. Surprised, Clara hesitated. Who could it be at this late hour? She slowly opened the door, and to her astonishment, a young man in a bright red coat stood there, holding a large basket overflowing with food. "Merry Christmas, ma'am," the young man said with a warm smile. "This is for you." Clara's eyes filled with tears. "But I don't understand. How did you know I needed help?" The young man simply said, "A kind soul told me you could use a little Christmas cheer." And before Clara could ask more, he tipped his hat and disappeared into the snowy night. Inside the basket, Clara found everything she had dreamed of: fresh bread, cheese, roasted chicken, fruits, and even a small Christmas pudding. There was enough to last her not just for the night, but for weeks to come. Her heart swelled with gratitude. As she enjoyed her first warm meal in ages, she noticed a note tucked beneath the basket. It read, "No one should be forgotten during Christmas. May this season bring you warmth, joy, and hope for the days to come. Merry Christmas." From that night on, Clara's life began to change. The kindness she received inspired her to help others in need. With the little she had, she began making small scarves for children in the neighborhood and sharing stories that brought laughter and joy. Years later, Clara's tiny attic room became a gathering place for those in need. On Christmas, she always told the story of the mysterious young man who brought her the miracle she'd prayed for. And so, Clara lived the rest of her days in love and warmth, surrounded by friends, laughter, and the spirit of Christmas. She never found out who sent the young man, but in her heart, she knew it was her Christmas miracle. Happily ever after.